Okay, so I haven't had an actual discussion video in a very long time, so I feel like it's a good thing to do, especially with this newest patch. At first, this patch held a lot of things that I really wanted in here, including the new hero, Raider's rework, and LB's rework. Everyone pretty much knew right off the bat that I hated Raider. I always have, kind of, mostly because of the dodge guard break mechanic, but now he gets to keep that amongst many other tools in his kit, and I want to talk and give serious opinions on everything here. Now, in the past two of my streams, I have deeply overreacted to this, and I want to go ahead and say I'm sorry. I do believe that the character in total is broken currently, but it's not for the reasons that I may have led myself to believe, as well as what else has been going on in the community. I'll start off with Raider, and then I'll talk about the other changes in this patch that I strongly disagree with that need to be addressed almost immediately, if not immediately. First off, I want to say that Raider, while very powerful character, is not completely game-shattering or game-breaking. He's very powerful, I won't lie about that. But I want to say that, as a whole, I do like the character's design, where they were trying to go with the character, and so forth. The character isn't what I thought it would be, though. I did expect the hyper armor and his heavies, as that's something everyone would have requested. Everyone also requested for dodge guard break to be removed if he got a soft feint, which they decided to keep both in for some reason, which I strongly disagree with. But overall, the main problem that most people seem to be suffering with as Raider is his animations. It seems like the stunning tap as well as many other moves come up a lot faster than they should be, and I do think that's the case. Now, while the parry indicator may show 500 milliseconds, I think the animation itself is what isn't showing for 500 milliseconds. Now, I don't have the data or proof of that. That's just from what I've gathered on several sites. Most people, a lot of people are having issues with Raider who aren't playing as Raider. And even while playing as Raider during duel, brawl, etc., even in 4v4s, I've noticed it's gone from being somewhat difficult to extremely easy whenever fighting someone one-to-one, or even if they're just locked onto me and I have teammates fighting them on their external guard. There's something going on there definitely that does need to be addressed, and I feel like Raider as a whole needs some tweaks. I'm not saying he needs nerfs, I'm saying they need to do what they did with him with JJ. Jang Jun had some issues with his animations in the beginning, and that's what made him such a pain in the ass for people to deal with. I feel like Raider is having that same issue. Lawbringer, on the other hand, didn't have very many bugs, if any, that I know of come up with him, but Raider seems to have a ton. Another thing I disagree with Lawbringer is that he does get to keep his unlocked top light for some reason, instead of it coming from the side, and his unlocked top light still comes out extremely quickly. That's something that does need to be fixed, as it does promote unlock tech, and is still used very frequently in duels, and it's not something that I believe should be in the game. The most important part of this video, though, is the parries. Something's been going on with this since a patch got released, and I'm not entirely sure what. And that's it. If you're hit stunned out of a move for some reason, the parry on anything that you try to follow up with or parry is really bugged out, and I'm not sure why. That's something that needs to be addressed immediately. For some reason, it seems like I have to try to parry things sooner than they need to be, whether it be light attack, heavy attack, or anything, and while I'm trying to adjust to this the best I can, it seems nearly impossible to deal with because I have to predict the most things, especially if they're light attacks. I was finally at a point where I was able to kind of train myself to parry most light attacks in the game, such as Orochi, and even Shinobi. But now, suddenly out of the blue, I'm not able to parry anything, and I think it has something to do with the guard switch delay that they removed. It was 300 milliseconds for most static guard characters, I believe all static guard characters, but seemingly now, whenever I do try to parry something, it seems to put me in a heavy attack animation rather than the parry animation, and I'm not really sure why. I think it has something to do with the guard switch delay and the fact that the guard switch immediately tries to put me into a heavy attack rather than the parry animation. That's something that needs to be addressed immediately, and I know multiple people have dealt with this. Whether it be in my live streams or my comment sections, everyone's kind of questioning this. And when it comes to parrying someone's initial attack, that's not something I have too much trouble with. It's mostly just the follow-ups after I get hit stunned from either blocking or getting hit by their attacks. And I'm not really sure why this is. I feel like this as a whole definitely needs to be addressed, because if it's not, then it could completely change the game into being a predicting contest instead of a reacting one. Why that would be, I'm not really sure. But regardless of that, as I said, it does need to be addressed. I want to know your guys' thoughts on all of this down in the comments below. Now, obviously, Raider currently isn't very balanced in his current state, simply due to his animations and questionable speed on his top stunning tap. Now, as I said before, he needed the rework. He needed to be changed. He wasn't a good duelist at all, and the fact that, yeah, he could, he was A tier if he started kiting and had dodge guard break on his side and turtled, but other than that, the character was terrible. He didn't have any offense at all, and I feel like what he got right now is currently justice, but he definitely needs quite a bit more work. He needs some more tweaking, and I know every patch like this is going to have some issues, but I feel like this is a little bit too much for me right now. With all these current things going on, I don't understand why all this should happen, especially all at one time. With Raider being busted with his animations and Parries being busted currently, I'm not really sure what Ubisoft intends to do, and I really hope it's addressed with the next few days or even just the next Warriors done. So instead of doing duels, I decided to do this week's weekly quest, as I found it pretty fun and enjoyable and fairly easy overall. I did really enjoy this arcade quest, as I normally don't even mess with arcade at all, but someone decided to recommend it to me, because I wanted to show you guys the lightsabers, and, with that being said, I couldn't really go online because everyone's just throwing light attacks, and I can't really deal with it right now with these new parries being fucked up. And as I said, this isn't really a get-good scenario where you need to learn to parry. It's more or less a scenario where you can't parry unless you predict it. And that's kind of saddening, because I was at one point, like I said, able to parry Shinobi and Orochi lights with next to no problem, but now it doesn't seem to be the case. Ever since I got this new monitor that I got, I've really enjoyed playing this game, especially online, with my friends or even without in duels. I just had an amazing time, and I've been playing with a lot of people in my Discord. So if you guys do want to join my Discord, hopefully play some 4v4s with me, or just come and hang out with my community, the link to my Discord is in the About section of my channel, and I strongly encourage you all to join, as I try to have fun with everyone I can there. Also, I do hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, my thoughts on it, and if you guys did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It's been really good talking to you guys, and as I said, I want to know your thoughts down below. Hope you guys have a good night, and yeah, peace. Love you.